So don't listen to the guys at Top Gear. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Right.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Juliana, your automotive woman. This is my friend Mark and his 2005 C6 Corvette convertible. Let's go for a drive. So Mark, 20 years later, lots of kilometers. Over
Yes.
521,000.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so tell me, because that obviously takes a lot of passion, commitment, finesse.
Right.
But how did this C6 originally start stock versus all the work you've had done to it?
Okay. So I ordered it from the factory direct, and it had all the options. So the Z51 performance package, which adds thicker sway bars. It adds an oil cooler radiator separate from the main radiator. It has different gearing ratios, which helps with the shifting as well. And that was about it from the Z51 performance package. Then I also had the cobalt red interior, which I love. Really sets the car off nicely.
Yes.
Works with the silver and then the black and the red together. It's a Canadian car, so it has the Canadian options, which includes a block heater, which I didn't realize I had until the Cord was dragging on the road one day, and people were pointing at it saying, "You got an electrical cord," and I'm like, "Oh shoot!" So pulled over, wound it up, stuck it back up where it belongs, and we were good to go. And it also has the 1SB package and the navigation system. So this Corvette, when they went from the C5 to the C6, there were some major changes to the car. Went from the flip-up headlights to the enclosed, exposed headlights. We added the first nav system to the Corvette, and that was fun to get used to. It has a built-in CD drive, DVD drive for the map, and it has the push-button start, which was a novelty on performance cars at that point. Now it seems like everything has the push-button start. So that's basically how it was set up factory-wise. And then the first modification I made to it was adding an SLP Blackwing intake, cold air intake. And the gentleman that did the work was a Stingrays in Mississauga. They also wanted me to do a different final gear ratio, go from the 342 to a 410. I said no, we'll do this. But we did the LG, the first set of the LG long tube pro headers for the car, which changed the exhaust note a little bit. But it was my second year with the car that I decided I got to get this thing on track. And with the Z51 performance package, this car out of the box is a pretty good performer. So started learning how to drive high-speed days, and I think you might have been one of my instructors. Normally, though, now I'm using Black Beauty, which is an 07 Z06, which is set up for the track. Other things we did to this car to get it ready for the track, we added stainless steel brake lines, which really help with the braking. We did custom brake ducting, so really channeling the air into the back of the rotors. We did a short throw shifter, which you probably noticed now as you're driving the car.
It's amazing.
Love it. And the moment I bought Black Beauty, that was the first mod I did to that car, was getting the long throw shifter and switching to a short throw. Driven it to Mossport, Watkins Glen, Calabogie. We had an off-track incident. It was kind of interesting in my second year. The back left wheel, one of the spokes actually separated. They're OEM rims, but I was so aggressive with the car, I overstressed that spoke. It snapped, then drilled itself through the rim, and the car instantly pivoted to the left. Luckily, I was between turns 9 and 10, so a very short trip, little bump into the wall, which ended up causing, it looked like Cookie Monster taking a bite out of the rotor. I'll show it to you back at the clubhouse there. I got an autograph by the Corvette racing team the next weekend when they were in town, and had to tell them all the story, what had happened. And so the car got all fixed up, repaired, and the very day I picked it up was when we went up to Calabogie.
Nice.
And drove up at Calabogie for 3-4 days up there, which was a lot of fun.
But speaking about performance and going
Yes.
quick, you touched on it a little bit, but you've had work done to the motor, because this,
Yes.
correct me if I'm wrong, but when this originally came out, it was 400 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque.
That's right.
You've had work on it, and you have an interesting story to tell about the engine.
How that happened? Yes. You'll notice in the engine bay, it's still an LS2 block, but we've actually stroked out this motor, so it's making an extra 150 horsepower. We added some signatures that added another 5 horsepower to the car. On this side is the Corvette racing team from the GT1 Le Mans winning team. So there's Johnny O'Connell and Ron Fellows is in there somewhere, Tommy Milner. And then on this side we have Lou Gelati from LG Motorsports. He ran the number 28 World Challenge Corvette with the beautiful flame on the sides of the car, black car. And he also ran the first GT2 Corvette in IMSA. It was the second year or third year of driving this car on track, and the timing chain snapped as I was coming through 5C at Mosport, or Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Sorry, Ron Fellows. And the car let go, so I just pulled off to the side and got towed over to Powell Race Shop, and they re-enreed the motor. And when Devin called me, he said, "Mark, we can either return this to a stock LS2 or we can do an LSX." And I'm like, "Well, what's an LSX?" And he goes, "Well, that'll add a lot of horsepower to this car." So extreme horsepower. And it's still very drivable, but it wasn't when we first got it worked on, and I'll explain that. So they took the motor, sent the bottom end down to Michigan, and one of the race shops down there that works on the NASCAR motors, they redid the bottom end and all the internals, all the rolling internals. So they were all forged, lightweight, just amazing. And then the top end was sent up to Markville. I don't know if it was Multimatic who did the top end. I'm not sure. I'll have to find that out. And then they brought it back to Powell, and they mounted it, made it everything back together. And when they initially installed it, it was on solid motor mounts. So the car, it felt like I was in a NASCAR. It was like loud, percolating the whole time. And the tuning was a very basic tune. And I found that on the highway at high speed, it was like a jeweled watch. Amazing performance. And we had it dynoed. It dynoed at about 550 horsepower. It was about 485 foot-pounds of torque. And so that was very impressive. It was a big step up to go from the stock to this now LSX motor. Like, how do you find it driving it?
I love the short shifter, and I love your clutch. For me, I like the old school clutches because you can feel it.
Right.
Right, when you push on it. So you feel the engagement, you know when to properly shift, you know everything.
Yep.
I find the new clutches these days are way too light.
Yes.
So you don't, it's not snappy.
Right.
And then yours, because you have that short shifter,
it's instantaneous shifting.
Yeah.
Yes.
A long time ago, I remember watching the Top Gear episode about this vehicle.
Yep.
And, did you watch it? They weren't nice about it, right?
Nope, definitely not.
But now when you drive it, and of course I'm not doing anything dramatic,
right?
But it feels good to get behind a high-performance vehicle that feels like a high-performance vehicle.
Right.
Because I feel like these days everything's way too modded out.
Yes.
And there's way too much help.
Yes,
exactly. You can't have fun for what you're paying for.
Right. That's right.
Do you feel the same? Like when you track
definitely.
now?
Yes, when I track either car, I go into competition mode, and so there's no traction control. There's a little bit of active handling, but I only see that rarely come up on the DIC. But you can get the car sideways. You can spin off the track. The car really only steps in at the very outside of the envelope performance-wise. So it's phenomenal. Now the C8 Corvettes, they have a lot of nannies that are involved, but you can turn a lot of that off.
But
it doesn't feel right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This car still feels fun. You got the clutch. We went up to Cayuga. We were doing some straight line, and which this car was really not designed for that. It's designed for road courses, and but we were having fun. But on my third pull, I ended up really over revving it, spit the whole differential out the back. So that was the first major mechanical issue I ever had with this car. And we put in a stage 2 rear diff, which has been bulletproof. We did a harness at the back as well, which is supposed to stop the car from having any type of wheel hop. And but I've never straight lined this car since. It's only been on the road course or on trips.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
You've put in a lot of work.
Yes.
It's lasted 20 years. So
Yes.
if somebody else watching this
Yep.
wanted to make their old American muscle car last,
Right.
what's the type of investment? What kind of work do you do annually on this
Yeah.
to make it keep running?
So I'm really on top of the oil changes. It only gets Mobil 1, gets 530, and I'm into the extended care or extended mileage, full synthetic. So I change it as soon as I see it hit around 50% on the gauge. I'm changing the oil, new filters, keep on top of the air filters as well. With regards to the clutch fluid, you keep an eye, there's a reservoir that you can basically, I have a turkey baster, and I'll pull out the old fluid right down, kind of give it a little clean up with a little bit of paper towel, and then I refill it. We're using a high temp brake fluid. I think it's just over 640, I think is the rating on it. And I use that for both cars, for this car and for Black Beauty, the Z06. It's tuned with this motor and the tuning. I have to use 93 or 94 octane gas, and I don't overdrive the car now. Like it gets nice trips. I can use it as a daily driver, but I generally don't. With all the mileage, people are like, "How did you Did you drive this car every day?" It's like long trips.
Yeah, just cruising.
Yeah. All the trips out west, all the trips out east, trips down to Sebring. I've been to the Sebring race now about 10 times maybe. I went to Petit Le Mans 4 or 5 times.
So long story short, you spend a couple $100 a year
Yes.
to make this vehicle still work 20 years later.
Right.
And you just take care of it.
Yep, just take
Right.
care of it.
That's it. So don't listen to the guys at Top Gear. They have no idea what they're talking about.
Right, that's true. Now, parts do wear out, right? I've done brakes, I've done pads, rotors we tried solid rotors, we've tried cross-drilled, we've tried slotted. The cross-drilled OEM are great. We've switched over from the OEM pads to Hawk pads, which are great. They have nice bite. The ones that are on here right now are Hawk street pads, so you're noticing there's no squeaking. If I upgrade to the track brakes, you get some squeaking. But you just live with that. With the Z06, I'm running Carbotex, and they do squeak quite a bit, but they last a long time. Very, very good pad. So economically, the Corvette is a great platform for taking to the track. The C6 Z06 is phenomenal. I can run that car with hardly any repairs throughout the year and push that thing at the track the entire day. And it makes other guys I can't believe you're driving that car that hard, and the car just takes it and wants more. It's also really good on gas. This car, shocking. V8. It's 6 gear, so the 6th gear is a cruising gear, and I can get up to 32 miles to the gallon. Okay, convert that. It's 6 or 7 liters per 100 kilometers. It's phenomenal.
Hey, 20 years later.
Yep.
Interior's still fantastic. A little bit of wear and tear.
Yeah, some wear and tear.
God, not anything close that I was expecting. So kudos, well done. I think we should go shopping now for the new ZR1.
Yes, definitely. ZR1,
Amazing.
ZR1X. Let's do it. Yes.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready for that. Let's do it.
Shit, wrong gear.
Yep, let's try that again.
Let's try it again. Go. Amazing.
Not bad, eh?
Not